Hello, good morning. Happy Sunday. Where did my chat go? Let's see. Am I signed in? There we go. Okay. I don't know what I did there, but we're fine. Okay. Looks like we're live on all of the things. Alright. How's everyone doing? Feeling? How's your weekend going so far? Alright. It's October. Welcome to a new month. Okay. So for all my artist friends out there, happy Inktober, or whatever October drawing challenge we're all, is it sadistically or masochistically deciding to take on? Cheers to that. I actually look forward to this like every year. Hey Ben, good morning. Hey, cool soy. I do legitimately like look forward to Inktober every year, and then every time it shows up, I'm surprised. I'm like, oh my god, it's October. Like I haven't planned anything out, or like I've like very loosely planned things out. I'm always like, oh, I'm gonna get all my drawings done, so all I have to do is ink in October, but I've literally never done that. Can we do some lower back strengthening stuff today? Yeah, we totally can. Let's some lower back strengthening. I like the sound of that actually. Yeah, so let me roll my yoga mat out. You guys can get your space set up too. Just off screen. So I'm just gonna roll my yoga mat out. You guys can set your space up as well. You don't need a yoga mat, but just a clear space where you won't knock into anything. Carpet is better than hardwood. Hardwood's better than tile, but work with what you've got. Good job. Okay. So what we'll do today is continue our practice of beginning with a seated meditation or seated grounding, a little breath work, and moving into the movement part of class. Yoga, we'll do some lymphatic shaking, we'll do lower back strengthening, some joint resiliency, and end with a nice long shavasana final relaxation pose. And I'll lead you through that, play some crystal singing bowls for you, and yeah, well, let's get started. So Finding a comfortable seated position. So you can sit in Sukhasana, that's just cross-legged. It's called, or translates to easy sitting pose in Sanskrit. So we want to make it as easy as possible to sit in this. You might elevate your hips a bit, allowing your feet to be off of the pillow or blanket. That just alleviates some of the pressure on the lower back. Hands come to rest on the lap, either palms down to ground down or palms up to give and receive energy if you feel you've got a little extra to give today. You can close the eyes if that's comfortable, if not, just lowering them to a soft gaze beyond your legs. Just seat it up tall, head over heart, heart over hips, like there's a string pulling you up from the crown of your head towards the sky. We'll take 3 cleansing breaths, in through the nose, shoulders rise up towards the ears, and an audible sigh out the mouth, shoulders drop away. Returning to a natural breath's pace, in and out through the nose if that's available. We'll take a moment here just to arrive. Let go of everything that came before and everything that's to come up after. Become present to yourself here in this moment, here in this space. And begin to allow sounds into your awareness. Allowing sounds in from a distance. Maybe sounds from within your home. All part of this moment, this experience. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. And feel the weight where your body makes contact with the ground below you. Weight of the hands on the knees. Begin to scan the body from head down towards toes. Just getting a general sense of how the body feels. Taking note of any places of tension or sensitivity. Any restlessness or fidgeting. I'm going to use that information as we move through our practice today, shifting the awareness from the body, Annamaya Kosha, to the energetic level, Pranamaya Kosha. Just notice where you're at energetically in this moment. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being exhausted, fatigued, ready to crawl into bed, 10 being so full of energy it's hard to sit still. Shift the awareness to the breath. No need to change it, just observe inhalations, exhalations, whatever space in between. Just noting the qualities of the breath, where that rise and fall is in the body, perhaps the belly or the chest. Symmetry or disruptedness of the breath. Making all these judgments without, or making all these observations without judgment. Just notice. And shifting the awareness up to the mind, Manomaya Kosha. Allow thoughts and feelings to arise freely here for the next few moments, just allowing the mind to be free. No need to engage with the thoughts, just allow them to happen. Notice, what are the quality of the thoughts today? Do they have a positive or a negative tilt to them? Are they quick flashes of ideas or a long, drawn-out drama? Not right or wrong, not good or bad, just something to notice. Bring the attention back down to the breath. This time actively expanding the breath. Every inhale sips in a little more air. And every exhale lets something more go. Inhaling fills belly like a balloon inflating. And exhales drop belly button in towards spine. Hello, good morning for Shay and Kyle Parker. We're just beginning to expand our breath here. Belly filling like a balloon on the inhale and deflating on the exhale. Inhales fill belly and ribs expand out to the sides. Exhale, ribs, then belly. Inhale fills belly, ribs, and chest, air filling all the way up towards the collarbones. Exhales release chest, ribs, belly. So these three-part breath. Dirga pranayam. You can even move your hands on your body. You're having trouble isolating that expansion and deflation. Full exchange of breath here. Take your time to get completely to the top of your inhale and to the bottom of your exhale. Allow space between top and bottom teeth as the jaw hangs heavy, releasing any tension in the face. The next time you exhale, releasing any effort from the breath, just returning to a natural breath's pace. Hands come to meet at heart center, palms pressed together in Anjali Mudra, no space between the fingers and the thumbs press into the sternum. Consider here setting an intention or a dedication for your practice, your reason for showing up to the mat today. And the invitation is just to set it in a positive and affirmative tense. And so it might sound something like, I flow through life with ease and grace. We'll seal that intention with the sound of Om. You are invited to chant along with me, of course. First, a cleansing breath. Allow your hands to release to your lap, chin drops towards chest. And then inhale, right ear rolls over towards right shoulder. Exhaling, chin to chest, and left ear towards left shoulder. Just allowing the head to gently roll side to side here. Bring the head back up through center. You need to roll the shoulders forward, just working into the space between the shoulder blades and the upper back. Your eyes can even still be closed for this part. You know what you're doing, just opening up parts of the body through movement. Nice and easy in the beginning of class. We'll roll the shoulders back, opening the space in the chest and around the collarbones. Releasing that, we'll inhale, arms sweep up overhead. And exhale, right hand releases down, left arm reaches over for side bend. Inhaling back up through center, and exhaling over to the left. Following the breath like this, we'll just sweep it side to side. Slow the body down to match the length of the movement, instead of speeding up the breath to catch up to how quickly the body might be telling you it wants to move. So most of this movement is spent in transition. Really, we're just in that deepest side bend for that moment between inhale and exhale. Or really that moment between exhale and inhale, I should say. And next time we're up through center, let's exhale to a twist. Left hand releases to the knee, right hand releases behind you, and chest opens towards the side wall. Inhale back up through center, and exhale, twist left. Imagine your spine like a spiral staircase. Back up through center. Once again, we're spending most of this in transition, in movement, as most of the breath is while we're inhaling up through center and exhaling into the twist with only that little hesitation, or not even hesitation, but moment between. Doesn't have to be your deepest twist of your life. It's probably the deepest twist of the day so far. That's a good place to start. Back up through center, and we'll release the hands onto the knees. Here, some seated cat-cows. You can change the orientation of the cross of the legs if you've been sitting cross-legged this whole time. Hands come onto the knees, and an inhale, arching the spine, looking up towards the sky. You can pull on your knees just a bit, nothing too intense. And exhale, rounding, making the letter C, round in the spine, chin tucks towards chest. Inhaling, arches the spine, opens the chest. Exhale, rounds the spine, hunching over. Release through center. Good morning, Evolve Yourself TV, or I should say welcome in. I don't know if it's morning by you. Well, uncross the legs, extend the legs out in front of you, spread and scrunch the toes. Just wake up the lower legs, roll out the ankles. Bend in the knees. Bring the feet nice and wide. Let's drop the knees side to side. Just begin to open up the hips and wake them up. Kyle Parker, Frichet, Evolve Yourself TV, the lurking themselves. We're going to be doing some lower back strengthening today. So we're going to really warm the back up for those movements. So we'll start class a little different. So now that the hips have got a little movement, I wouldn't call them warmed up, but they've got a little movement, we're just going to turn, not going to work. You can be on your yoga mat. I'm not going to be on my yoga mat because I don't want to disturb Lucy. I feel like it's like a thing. You're not allowed to disturb your dog when she's like behaving. Okay, so we're going to gently lower down. I know, but I don't want to bother you. Okay. If the feet come, oh, but I'm off screen, aren't I? Sorry, Chubbs. I ended up moving you anyway. Go. Thank you. Alright. There's a little technical difficulties. Here we go. Okay, so here we are reclining on the mat. Feet come hips distance apart, in close to the hips. On an inhale, arms reach up overhead. Just give yourself a little stretch. And release the hands down by the heels, fingertips reaching towards the heels. Lift the hips up towards the sky, just peeling the spine away one vertebra at a time from hips up towards shoulders to the top of a bridge pose, asana. And then we're going to do that same movement with the arms. Arms reach up overhead. And as we lower down in reverse, hips touch down last, the arms come down with you. So we'll connect this movement to breath. I'm sure you saw that coming if you've been practicing here for a while. As the inhale comes up, the hips tuck up, raising up to our bridge pose, squeezing the glutes for stability, fingertips reach up overhead, and then lowering back down. So just like a wave. Working to coordinate the speed of the body with the length of the breath. And working to coordinate the speed of the arms with the amount of time the back and hips need to raise all the way and lower all the way. the next time you exhale into back down to the ground, we'll just bring the feet out to the edges of the mat. And then just like we were before, allow the knees to drop side to side, making that like a zigzag or lightning bolt shape. Back to center, feet come hips distance apart. Take the right foot and cross it over the left knee. And press the right knee away, just using that hip strength. And then the left knee pulls in towards the body. So we're just using core strength to bring the left knee in towards the body. Then hands reach through to grab behind the left knee. You can use that right elbow to press the right knee away as you're working to bring the left thigh in towards the body. So we're just deepening the stretches on the hips. Using bicep strength. It's like a bicep curl in. Keep your shoulders melted down, relaxed by your sides on the ground. Give yourself a little rock here, side to side. There's no yanking, there's no record breaking. Just giving a nice, deep, but thoughtful stretch to this right hip. And we'll release the foot down to the ground. Release both feet down to the ground. And cross left ankle over right knee. Using just core strength, right knee pulls in towards the body. Left knee still pressing away. Once again, we're just using the core and hip strength here to make this happen. Once you've come in as far as you can, the hands reach through to grab behind the right knee. So my left hand's going through that little negative space created, the donut hole, and the right hand's coming around the outside. I use the left elbow to press the left knee away, and use bicep strength to pull the right leg in. Keep the left foot flexed. That just helps keep the lower leg a bit active, so we're not messing with the knee. We just want to be focusing on the hips here. And remember, the shoulders just stay melted away. So this is called a couple different things: reclining figure 4 or reclining pigeon pose. Staying connected with the breath even when it's not connected to a direct movement. So up until now, we've connected inhale to a movement, exhale to a movement. Even in these poses of stillness, that's still true. The inhale is still going to be a lift in the belly, exhale a release in the belly, but also you can use it to, the inhale to adjust the alignment in a pose, and the exhale to soften within a pose, deepening a stretch, not by yanking, but by relaxing some tension. And we'll release that grip, feet come back down to the ground, and then bring the feet up off the ground, making a 90-degree angle with the knees. So thighs parallel to the ground, like knees reaching towards the sky, and then feet towards the wall in front, just like there's a cube below my legs. From here, the hands come out 45-degree angle, palms down on the ground. So we're going to use some core strength here to bring the knees over to the right. So left hip's coming up off the ground on top of the right hip. And just when I get to that knee touching the ground, I'm not coming all the way down into that side twist, into that reclining twist as usual. I bring it back up. So we're going to come over to the other side as well. So I'm working towards keeping this shape in the legs the entire time. And you'll probably already feel, I'm already feeling that I'm using my arms kind of a lot for that stability. So what you can do if you're finding that that you'd like to have a little bit more of a challenge is you can bring the hands lower, closer to the hips. Or you can even bring the hands up overhead so you can't use them at all. And you can play with all of these, don't worry, you can always go back and just notice how much more challenging it is to just rely on that core strength. That's what we're working on building up here. Just notice how the opposite shoulder wants to lift up and roll over with you. So we're avoiding rolling over. We're keeping the shoulders on the ground the whole time, even if that means that the knees don't make it all the way to the ground. Okay. Knees come back in. Knees a hug all the way in. And then just hand in each knee. Circles. Just release some of that tension. Change directions. All right. Now we will turn all the way around. So just rolling onto your belly. Coming belly side down or face side down on the mat. Hands come down by the shoulders. Hands come underneath the shoulders rather. Elbows tucked in tight. Tops of the feet press into the ground so hard that the knees stay lifted. Mouth, chin, and forehead come centered. And inhaling to a baby cobra pose. So just using back strength here. If you feel you got a little more space, you have to stretch out the belly after that core work. We'll press into the ground, coming into Bhujangasana, cobra pose. The hips still stay pressed into the ground, thighs are pressed into the ground, and I'm not straightening the arms up. Do I have space to do it? Yes, but instead of straightening the arms up and pressing up, I'm pressing the hands down and back, like I'm trying to drag myself forward instead of up. Shoulders stay melted away, relaxed away from the ears. Deep breath here. And we'll release back down to the mat. And arms come out like the letter T, palms face down. Once again, squeezing the glutes, press the hips into the ground, tops of the feet press into the ground, and an inhale, chest, shoulders, and head rise. Shoulder blades squeeze together, and exhaling, we gently lower down. Inhale to rise, exhale to lower. If this is really challenging for you, we're going to continue with quite a few of these. Then you can bring the arms down by your sides, and it's going to be less weight. And if you're looking for something more challenging than even like the letter T positioning of the arms, you can bring the arms up overhead. So you can try out all three of these. We have plenty of rounds to work with. We're about halfway done now. So you can see how the positioning of the arms changes the weight and intensity of the movement. You kind of choose your adventure. We've got 3 more. So really focusing on form keeping the hips to the toes pressed down into the ground. Squeezing the shoulder blades at the top of the movement and connecting breath with the execution. Last round. Take a moment here, deep breath in, side out. You might bend in the knees and windshield wiper the feet side to side. With the arms out here in this position with the palms down, let's just extend the right leg long and take the left foot back and over that leg. So I'm just peeling this left hip over right hip. So you feel a deep stretch in your right shoulder. Maybe this left arm reaches back for that other arm. My hands don't come out anywhere close to reaching, but that's just kind of the direction of the energy. And that's just extra on top. You can keep the hand in front of the chest on the ground for a little stability, because you want the stretch to be intense but not sharp or painful. So having this hand on the ground can feel a bit more grounding, just like a little safer for the shoulder. One more deep breath here. We'll release that hand onto the mat. Bring the body face down once more. Arms come out like the letter T. Bend in the right knee. And then roll over to stack the right hip over the left hip. So now we're stretching this left shoulder. Maybe the hand reaches back for the other hand, or stays in front of the chest on the ground for support. Breathing deep into this left shoulder. One more deep breath here. Bring the hand back in front. Bring the body back. Belly side down. Take a deep breath in. Let go. The fingers spread wide. Come up onto the knees. Knees come out wide. Toes come to touch. Send the hips back for child's pose. Letting the head come down to the ground. Maybe the forehead reaches. You give yourself a little forehead massage. Let's got one deep breath here. All right, we'll press it up to tabletop pose. Right leg reaches up and back behind you. Heel presses away, toes are facing the ground, and left arm sweeps up in front. Extended tabletop pose. Keep the core engaged so it's not sinking down like a cow pose or anything like that. Tabletop, we want it straight from fingertips to heel. Deep breath in here. And on the exhale, rounding in the spine, lift the belly button out of the way. Elbow comes towards knee, knee comes towards elbow. Now we are lifting the spine leg through cat pose. Inhale, we extend long. Exhale, curl it in, lifting the belly out of the way. Inhale to extend. And exhale to curl in. Last time, extend. Hand releases down, and knee releases down. Left leg extends up and back behind you. So we're Shoulders reaching straight back, foot flexed as if the heel is going to press into the back wall, and right arm sweeps forward, coming up to shoulder height. So mindful that the lower back doesn't sink. Keep the lower abdominals engaged to keep strength in the back. Deep breath in to come long. And exhale, rounding the spine, lift the belly out of the way, elbow towards knee, knee towards elbow. Inhale, extended tabletop. Exhale, curl it in, lifting and rounding. Inhale, extended. Exhale, curl it in. Extended tabletop pose. Hand releases down and knee releases down. Tuck the toes under and send the hips up and back for downward facing dog. You can bend in one knee and then the other, sweeping up the backs of the legs. Find the spacing that works for you. Remember, the closer your feet are to your hands, the deeper the stretch in the legs. The farther your feet are from your hands, the deeper the stretch in the shoulders. So you want to be in the middle. You want to find some balance in that posture so that both the shoulders and the legs are getting that stretch. Heels are pressed down towards the ground. It doesn't matter if they touch or not. That's just the direction of the body. My heels happen to touch the ground, and in this pose, but in lots of other poses, my body doesn't reach quote unquote where it's supposed to. So just the invitation is not even to look at yoga poses that way. There's not an ultimate way of doing them. There's countless variations, infinite ways of altering and adjusting them. So you're just finding the shape that's going to work best for your body. What's working best for your body doesn't necessarily mean what the textbook looks like, and it doesn't necessarily mean the most comfortable pose either. It's just what works. So here we've got a deep breath here. Sigh it out. One more breath like that. Then we'll send it forward to plank pose. Straight line from the heels to the crown of the head. Deep breath in, pressing the ground away. And then exhale like a reverse push-up. You're just going to come all the way down to the ground. Nice and gentle with control. Bend in the right knee. And the right hand comes back to grab that knee. So this might be enough of a stretch for you, a quad stretch. So we're looking for a quad stretch. This is the front of your thigh. Keep the knee in towards center line instead of letting it splay out to the side to the best of your ability. If you've still got space to play or you're not quite feeling the stretch, you want to lift the knee towards the sky while pulling the foot in. So lifting that knee is going to bring more stretch into the quad. Once the stretch moves or the intensity moves from the quad to the knee, then you know you've gone too far, or you need to adjust the placement of the leg to bring it back into the body of the muscle and out of the joints. We don't need to stretch out our joints. We need to strengthen the joints, stretch out the muscles, right? All right, let's release that foot down, and then bend in the left knee, reaching back to grab the top of that foot. If reaching that foot is not happening for you, or it feels really far away, you can always grab like a belt or a towel, like a hand towel, like a face towel, and strap it around the foot to bring it in. Remember, just mindful that we're not pulling it out to the side. We're keeping that knee in alignment, maybe even lifting that thigh off the ground with this pull. So we're breathing fully even in these poses that take extra effort, that are challenging. And one more breath here. We'll release that foot down to the ground. Okay, so this next pose, I'm going to just show you. So we're going to be in this position. I'm just going to show you what that looks like inceptioned. So palms are face down, and we're going to bring the elbows aren't going to touch, they might in your body, but the elbows are going towards touching. So my palms are touching, I'm trying to like bring my forearms together, and I'm going to be laying down on top of my arms this way. So, arms in that position, palms face down, like you're trying to get your wrists to touch, your forearms to touch, right? Like mine don't, but that's the direction that I'm heading in. That's the direction that's going to get me towards that alignment. Just, okay. Just first feel my way over to the top of the mat, okay? So fingers spread wide, palms pressing into the ground. And now it's similar to what we were doing earlier, but with the lower body. So mouth, chin, or forehead are going to come to center. And then we just reach the right leg up and back. So you're just squeezing the muscles of that leg and squeezing the glute to get that lift. Breathing fully here. Just taking 3 deep breaths. We got 1 deep breath left. And release that foot to the ground. Next is the left leg. And that's just reaching straight up and back. So you can use the bottom leg, just how we use the arms in the side twist for stability. Press that into the ground. It's going to help lift up the left leg even more. And we'll gently release that leg down. So as you may have guessed, both legs come up next. So it's that same feeling, but both of the legs come up, and so the arms are gonna have to press into the ground for that stability that your opposite leg had before. Just squeezing the legs, squeezing the glutes. Get point through the toes. Really pressing the hands into the ground. Shalambhasana, locust pose. Breathing fully, even in the intensity of the posture. And gently release the legs down. Get off the arms. Bend in the knees and give yourself a little windshield wiper side to side. Let the hips go with it, just releasing any tension from the lower back. Good work. If you got any airtime at all, that's awesome. Good for you. And if you didn't, don't feel discouraged. That's like a very challenging posture. So sometimes it's like we can get in our heads and not even try. So if you did try, then I hope you surprised yourself at what you were able to accomplish there. Mouth, chin, and forehead come centered. We reach back for the tops of the feet. Feet come in, knees come in. Mouth, chin, and forehead come centered. And an inhale, chest and shoulders rise. Feet kick into the hands. They lift, maybe the thighs lift. So it's similar feeling to that quad stretch we had before. Now we're getting a nice deep shoulder stretch as well. For our floor bow, Dhanurasana. Shoulder blades are squeezed together, feet are kicking into the hands, and we're breathing fully and deeply here. The strength comes in from the constant kicking of the legs. I know the legs are probably starting to get a little tired here, but we're just keeping going. We've got 2 more deep breaths here. Gently release the knees, the feet, the arms, and the head down. Deep breath in through the nose. Audible sigh out the mouth. And hands come underneath the shoulders. Let's press it up and back for our child's pose. Releasing some of that tension that we built up in the lower back. So hips are pressing down towards the heels, belly's in between the legs. We can come up on tented fingertips and just tiptoe the hands over to the right. Keeping that left hip touching or close to the left heel. Breathe into that left side body, the intercostal muscles, the space between the ribs. And bring it back through center and over to the left. Keeping the right hip glued to the heel or close to it. Bring it back to center. Okay. I'm pressing it up. What time is it? Yes. Okay, we've got time for one more round. So here we go. Pressing back onto the belly, just extending forward. Now the shoulders are very, very warmed up, so we can bring the hands interlaced behind the back. If your fingers don't interlace here, you can use that towel or belt, or keep the arms down by the sides, how we worked on this before. Mouth, chin, and forehead come centered, tops of the feet press into the ground, glutes press into, squeeze rather, to protect the lower back. So you'll feel that little tuck, that activation of lower abs. And inhale, chest and shoulders rise. This time the arms rise with you as well. You can keep the toes touching the ground, or it might feel good to lift them now too if you've got that space to play. Just being intentional, so they come up because you're choosing for them to come up, not because you haven't noticed, right? And lower down. Inhaling to rise, and exhale to lower. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Release the hands, release the arms. Good work there. You might bend in the knees and let the hips turn side to side. So when we're thinking about strengthening the lower back, think about all of your core, ab building exercises, and we're basically doing them on the back, right? So belly down. So a curl goes this way, we're going this way. So we're strengthening the lower back this way. Okay, hands come underneath the shoulders. We'll send the hips up and back for downward facing dog. We're just here for one moment, just as a transition, to walk the hands back, back, back. Inhale to a halfway lift, hands on shins. My feet are shoulders distance apart. And then exhale, forward fold. The knees can be a little or a lot bent. Here, let the head shake no, nod yes. A little bit of ragdoll. Might give your, bring your hands to your elbows, creating a frame for the head
Just let the upper body really hang heavy here. Give yourself a little sway side to side, maybe back and forth. We're just using the weight of the head and shoulders to lengthen the spine. And then we'll release the arms and roll it all the way up to stand. Here we go. Okay. This is the first time we're standing in class today, so welcome. Here, let's just give it a shake out. So we've done a lot of strengthening, and that just builds tension. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's necessary, actually, to bring some tension into the body to build that strength. And we also need to, or get to, even that out by releasing that tension. So lymphatic shaking, we just lift the heels and let them drop with bent knees to create a jiggle, a shake in the body. My shoulders rise and drop as well. And there's really not a wrong way of doing this. You just want to keep the body moving. If something particularly feels like it needs more attention, then you want to just go ahead and give that body part an extra shake. So lymphatic shaking helps drain the lymphatic system, as the name would suggest, which helps move toxins out of the body and is dependent on movement for proper functioning. It doesn't have the heart to pump blood through it, doesn't have the lungs and diaphragm to move air through, so it's very just completely dependent on movement to properly drain out. On top of that, shaking is just a natural response to fear and trauma in the body. So by activating the response, even if we haven't just had a trigger, we get to move through or process some of that built up trauma-caused tension in the body. So you might be starting to feel warm. Maybe you were already feeling warm from all of those reps. That's okay. That's the intention. We're just keeping this going for another 30 seconds or so. Just really let the body be loose. It doesn't matter what it looks like. 3, 2, 1. Whew. Take a moment here in stillness. Just feel that tingling, that prana we just built up, life force. A little check-in. Now we're going to move through our breath of joy. It's a 4-part breath, and this is all about letting go. So it's 3 sips of air in to equal 1 big breath. So 30% of your lung capacity in, arm sweep up. 30% or 33% of your lung capacity in, arm sweep out, and the remaining 33% arms sweep up, and a big ha through the mouth, arms throw back. So we've got 10 rounds of that. So you don't got it right in the beginning, just roll with it and you'll start to sync up with the practice. Careful that there's enough space, or mindful there's enough space around you, you're not going to knock into anything. Feet are shoulder distance apart. On the inhale, arms sweep forward. Inhale, arms sweep out. Inhale, arms sweep forward. And a big ha, arms throw back. In, ha. And just yell as loud as you can. In, ha. In, ha. In, ha. Ha. 3 left. If you haven't joined in yet, now's your chance. Ha! Come on, make it count. Ha! Ha! One hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Eyes can close. Just take a moment here to observe what was created. What shows up for you when you let yourself take up space and be loud and just jiggle and yell. Increased heart rate, maybe increased body temperature. But what else shows up for you when you let yourself just exist big and loud? And what shows up as resistance to keep you from fully participating? It's not right or wrong, not good or bad, just noticing. You let your eyes blink open. I take a sip of water. Towel off any sweat. Hello, hello, sharks in the water. Okay. If you're already on the ground, we'll meet you there. If not, you can come down with me. Hair post jumping, post lymphatic shaking and breath of joy, huh? All right. The back of the mat, inhaling, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. And exhale, knees bend, deep, 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 so deep. And come down to seated. Allow the feet to come together, knees splay open for Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose, making a diamond shape in the legs, like how little kids like do that butterfly, right? Call this butterfly pose. It's called Baddha Konasana in Sanskrit. We got grab onto the feet, ankles or shins, whatever is accessible to you, to get a grip and get nice and tall. Long in the spine, tall in the spine, deep breath in. And exhale, hinge forward. Belly, chest, head. It's like I'm trying to get my belly to touch my toes, chest, head. Arms can reach ahead of you just to drape the body over the legs, or grabbing onto the ankles, you might press the elbows into the knees to continue opening up the hips. We've done a bit of hip opening, quite a bit of hip opening as well. So it might feel good, but if your hips are like, we're good, I'm done, I've done enough, then just let the arms extend overhead. There's really no worries. One way is not better than the other. It's just whatever your body's asking for. I'm just working to open up those channels of communication between the body and the mind, so we can more compassionately respond to one or the other's needs. Bring it back up to seated. Knees come together, and then we're just shimmying forward. So just shift forward. You'll feel all that like fleshiness come behind you, so your sits bones are closer to the ground. Hands come behind the knees, belly press up against the thighs. Once again, we're extending the back long, almost bringing a little back bend to the top of the body, with a little chest pop up. And we lean back into our boat pose. So, Urdhva Navasana. Working to get the shins parallel to the ground. You can use the arms to just keep the legs in, keep the spine straight. We really want to keep the spine long this entire time. Shoulder blades are squeezed together. Maybe the arms, the hands release out from behind. So, you can bring the hands forward, palms touching one another, just like we were in our Shalabhasana and our locust pose. Just almost like I'm gonna get my forearms to touch. But with the arms extended, that doesn't happen. Deep breath in here. And on the exhale, turn just the torso, twisting, and Release the hands down, just so fingertips touch the ground or close to it. Inhale brings you back to center, and exhale, fingernails to the ground on the left. Inhaling center, exhaling right. Inhaling center, exhaling left. Once more like this on both sides. Strengthening this whole central part of the body today. Then arms reach up overhead, legs can extend, and then lower all the way down. Oh, full body stretch. Good work with that. I love boat pose. I love Urdhva Navasana, but I think it's like up there on most hated poses generally by people. Let's bring the feet together and just let the knees splay open out to the sides. So Supta Baddha Konasana. So now here we are in our diamond pose with the legs once more. But now we're just reclining. Arms can reach up overhead. You can grab the right wrist with the left hand. And just give a little pull. So not the wrist, but like just below it, the forearm, if you will. Just giving that right shoulder a stretch. And then change the grip. Left hand, or rather right hand grabs onto the left wrist. Giving that a little pull. Release the hands. Knees come in towards center. Knees come in towards chest. Hands interlace around the right knee. Left leg extends long. We're just pulling the knee in towards the right shoulder. So just avoiding the belly, wind relieving pose. Just pulling the knee in towards the right shoulder. Left leg is extended. Left foot is flexed. I'm just using bicep strength to pull the knee in. Left hand stays on the knee, right arm opens up like the letter T, and then we'll guide the knee all the way to the left, bringing a twist into the spine, and keeping this right shoulder onto the ground to the best of my ability. This knee may or may not touch the ground. It doesn't right now, maybe later it will, it's all good. And the gaze can look over that extended right arm. Supta Matsundrasana, so just a supine spinal twist. And here there's nothing to do but breathe. The weight of the body and gravity is enough to the weight of the body and gravity is really what's doing the work in this pose, is what I'm trying to say. Head comes back up through center, knee comes in through center. Extend it down the length of the mat. Left knee pulls in towards the body, fingers interlace below the knee, completely avoiding the belly. Pull the knee in towards the shoulder, using just bicep strength. Let the shoulders be relaxed. Right leg is extended long, heel flexed, toes towards the sky. Wind relieving pose on the other side. This pose is really nice like before bed or after you've eaten too big of a meal. It's good for digestion. It would also be nice just to release some lower back or hip tightness. So the right hand stays on the knee, left hand releases open like the letter T. And we'll guide the knee over to the right, stacking left hip over right hip, and keeping this left shoulder glued to the ground, even if that means the knee doesn't touch the ground. That's okay. Gonna look over the extended left arm for a supine spinal twist on the other side. head back up through center. Bring the knees back in through center. Both knees can come in. Reaching for opposite elbows, pulling the knees in towards the chest. And then just notice here, is there any last movement or wiggle or pose that your body's asking for that would have you feel satisfied or well-rounded in your practice, ready to rest after all the effort we put in today? And take your time to move into that stretch or pose or wiggle. It doesn't have to have like a fancy yoga name or anything. It can really be anything at all. Just whatever last movements are going to benefit you. And as you're ready, let the legs extend down the length of the mat. Feet come at least a foot apart. Legs so relaxed, the feet naturally splay open to the sides. Arms release down by the sides, shoulders tuck under, supporting the chest, palms face open, palms up. A symbol, a mudra of receptivity. Allow yourself to receive the benefits of your effort here today. Eyes can close if that's comfortable. Not a soft gaze towards the sky above is just fine. If you know laying like this doesn't work for you, for your body, you can bend in the knees and bring the feet out to the edges of the mat. Allow the knees to knock together. Lift and tuck the hips before placing them back down for broken bridge pose. So in broken bridge or corpse pose, asana, or seated up if that's where you prefer to do your final meditation. All are great options. We'll just take this time here to integrate all that we've worked on. Let the movements sink into muscle memory. Let whatever lessons opened up for you sink into the subconscious, so that we might move through our days with more ease and grace, with more mindful response and less anxious reaction. Take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, audibly sighing out through the mouth. Allow the breath to continue in and out through the nose if that's available. Inviting your exhalations to become longer and deeper than your inhalations. Invite space between top and bottom teeth. Your jaw hangs heavy. Invite space between the eyebrows, so all the muscles in the forehead relax. Whole head rests heavy. Neck and throat release.
upper back, middle and lower back. Rest. Chest and belly gently rise and fall with the breath, like waves lapping up to shore. Hips, pelvis, glutes rest heavy, supported by the ground below. Thighs and knees melt away. Calves, shins, and ankles relax. Heels, arches, tops of the feet, and all of the toes relax. Whole body rests. Whole body rests. Whole body rests. Notice if in your mind, if only for a moment, that inner conversation quieted. Notice if in your breath there's ease. Notice if in your body the places of tension have found space. The places of restlessness have found peace. Allow for everything that did and did not happen in class today. And know that in yoga, practice makes practice. As you invite your inhalations to deepen, fingers begin to wiggle, and toes begin to curl. That feeling of heaviness replaced with the feeling of lightness and expansion. As head gently rocks side to side. Arms reach up overhead for a full body stretch. Let the knees bend and roll over to whichever side feels natural. Landing in a fetal position, you can use your bottom arm as a pillow. Fully released and fully supported by the ground below, bring to mind any intention you set for class today, or you might take this moment to set one now. If that intention inspires you, take it with you off the mat and into the world. Allow it to affect you and the people around you for the rest of your day with eyes still closed or gently lowered. Press your hands into the ground to come up to a seated position, just like how we started class today. Hands come to meet at heart center, palms pressed together in Anjali Mudra. Today we worked on a series of lower back and core strengthening postures. The first namaste I said silently to yourself, thanking your body for the effort it put into class. And the second namaste I said out loud to the community that held this space. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who joined me today. I hope you found something that serves you, that your day is better for having spent some time here on the stream today. See these messages that hopped in during Shavasana. I'd say apologies, but actually just wanted to, I'm ignoring you guys. Just during the meditations, feel free to comment. I just can't, or I won't respond until after, just so that the people who are in meditation aren't hearing me talk to chat. But I'm so happy to always respond to you guys after the fact. I wish I could sit like that when I try to meditate. Well, we practice a lot of sitting here, actually, in class every Sunday. Signature love, so grateful for your experience. Unable to participate today due to work, but I'm listening and learning. Thank you. You're welcome, signature loved one. Well, I'm grateful for the lurk. I'm glad you got to still tune in and listen in. And what's it called? I hope work goes well for you. It's like a productive, positive day. How's everyone feeling? That was pretty different than, not pretty, that different, but kind of different than what we usually do in class. So I hope that was good for you guys. I'm going to come back and practice. Yeah, you're welcome to. We're here every Sunday. Namaste. Hey, the cool sword. Thank you for the stream. I'm well and enjoyed your class. Namaste. You're welcome. Evolve Yourself TV. Wonderful to have you, of course, again. Yeah, guys. So if during the week you're looking for a class, I have posted all of my past live streams on a YouTube channel. I don't have Twitch commands, so like I don't know how to put it in the chat, I think, but it's just youtube.com/3eyetiger, and it's all of the classes that we've done together except I think my first 3 streams, because I didn't know how to record them. So it's like 125 classes. So thanks for being here for that. And they're like this. They're between 60 and 90 minutes long. And yeah, so I just thought it was time to make those public to everyone so people would have access to them. Definitely drink lots of water. We did lots of back bending today, and like more strength work than I think we usually do. I always try to get some functional strength work in there, but today we did a lot more, so I hope that's feeling great in your bodies. It looks like Swiss is online, and he's always bringing raids to my channel, so I feel like the right thing to do is to pay it forward, but I don't know what he's doing. I like it when he goes around. Oh, he's just doing some weird bots thing. Okay, let's not do that then. Okay. Yeah, Swiss is cool. Yeah, no, I love him, but I don't know what he's doing right now on his stream. Well, I'll be back next Sunday. Oh, my parents are here this week. Got the YouTube channel now too. You're welcome. Yeah, and I might start posting some other stuff on there too, but no promises. it's October, it's Inktober. I'm just focusing on creating a coloring book right now so I can have it ready to ready and printed out for my Etsy shop and for holiday. And other than that, I'm working on a tarot deck, but more on that later. I don't want to go down too much of a rabbit hole. Thank you guys for spending time with me this morning. Yeah, why not? We can go say hi to, let's go raid Swiss, because he's not usually on when I'm on. And whatever weird thing he's up to right now, we could just go say hi. Alright. I appreciate you all. Have a great day, and I'm always around if you need a message and have questions. I'm always happy to answer, happy to respond to the best of my ability. Instagram is probably the best place to reach out to me, but I'll be here on Sunday. Okay.